Come to Remora TC to trade like a shark and not get eaten by one. Let's school together to protect and grow our money. Hi everybody, it is Sunday, May 18th. It's time for us to review all the tickers that we talked about earlier in the week. Let's see how we did. Let's kick things off with the SPY. You can see here the daily chart for the SPY, my annotations. At the moment, I feel that the market makers will continue to push the SPY and, in fact, all the indices back to retest all-time highs. So we have it here. You can see that there is just over 3% for the SPY to reach all-time highs. And afterwards, we'll have to see if divergence appears. At the moment, there's no divergence down here. Price and momentum are in accord, and that's not really how we want our trades to go. We want to show RSI having divergence before we take a trade. So at the moment, no trade for the SPY. Let's switch to the triple Qs. Triple Qs are behaving in the same way. You can see all-time highs here at about 540, excuse me. From where we are now up to that point, it's about a 3.9% move. My dog agrees with me. You can hear him. He's barking over there. You can also see that we're going to wait to see if divergence appears. What's interesting, though, is over the past few days, see how flat the volume is here. There's no spike. There's no conviction by the sharks and whales to jump back in. So at the moment, I'm not saying it's low volume, it's just volume that doesn't show conviction. So let's just wait till price gets up here before we make a move. You can see that I annotated it here with some of this red marker to show that it will likely be resistance. Let's switch to the FTSE. This is the UK index, top 100 UK companies. Now, where we were earlier in the week, my prediction was the momentum was waning. You can see here on the momentum indicator that there is bearish divergence with price, and that I really do think prices will go down lower. But if the market makers continue to push price up, it's only a 3% move up to retest all-time highs again over here. So again, for me, just like with triple Qs and with the SPY, all the bearish divergence that was earlier in the year are pushing prices likely lower. So no trade for the FTSE. And my dog agrees. Okay, let's switch to GDX. GDX is the gold play. It's been behaving as expected. If you were to take the trade up here short, because this is where the sharks were getting out, right? The bearish divergence here and the resistance up here. If you had gotten in, let's say you got in, not a perfect entry, but let's say on this break here, for where it came down to the purple trend line, that's about a 13% move. That would have been a nice trade had you gotten into it on the short side. Right now, where we are is you see some price came down and now has filled this gap. Okay, it filled the gap. I'm going to get rid of this gap here. And price is actually up right here at the 46 price point. Let's get rid of this. And then let's get rid of this for now. So these arrows are no longer in play. So the question is there enough momentum for the price to continue moving upward? I mean, had you taken the entry down here long, I did annotate this green support here. I thought it might come down this far. But as per usual, price doesn't always come to the exact penny or even the dime or even 50 cents, whatever. The point is, if you got an entry here, well, is there further upside? I don't think so. I mean, look at the volume indicator here. And in fact, there's no bullishness down here on the RSI. So really, this is just a rebound. Maybe they'll move it up a little bit further before resumption of lower prices for GDX. So I'll just kind of go like this, okay? Maybe a little bit further upside. Now, you might say, well, will price get all the way up here to fill the gap up here? I mean, that's quite a move. Let's see. So from where we are here to up here, that's 7% move. I don't think so. I mean, let's see here. Let's zoom out a little bit. Get a frame of reference. You've got the bearish divergence here. So yes, price sold down. This is considered a bounce. Okay, so I will say yes, it's very possible. So let's do this. So let's go, it'll fill the gap and then resume lower prices. Okay, so for me, this is not a long entry. I wouldn't go long on GDX. Yeah, this is really a wait. If it's up here, then maybe take a resumption short for the low side. And okay, but for those who want to go long, this is not the time to go long. Let's delete this. Okay. All right, that is GDX. Switch to MicroStrategy. This is completely the opposite of GDX. This is your Bitcoin play. Now, there is bearish divergence here that appeared on last Friday, the 9th, so 2 Fridays ago, and then price began to sell down. Now, it did come down right down to support. So there are folks that would say, well, it's on support. Shouldn't that be a bullish move? Yeah, only for a little bit, not a lot. I don't think it's a lot of support. So let's go like this. It's just a little bit of support. And then I think it's resumption of selling. Okay. In fact, I'm going to get rid of this for now. I don't really believe in it as a legitimate entry point for those who want to be objective long. It's not. There is overhead resistance here, quite a ways up there. I think it was 14%. Let's see. What is this? Okay. It's a long way up there. It's 18%. So those who want to go long here, well, okay. I wouldn't stop you, with all this distance up here because it is objective to take it off of this trend line here. But for me, there's no bullishness. I don't like to trade long or short without bullishness. So I'll leave it like that. I'll leave it up to you. Okay, for me, it's no play. But for those who want to go long, sure. And let's just clean this up a little bit. On the short side, let's see, where's the 200-day? The 200-day is way down here. Okay, so 200 days down here. I don't think it's, yeah, it's a 26% move. Let's just annotate it, the 200-day moving average. Blue. Okay. So for now, MicroStrategy to me is, I'm not crazy about the long. You can take the long if you want, but there's bearishness going against you. Okay, let's switch over to Nike. This was a clean trade. It's performing as expected. I took the entry over here at about 57.85-ish. And to where we are now, oh, okay, I annotated here. So we're doing okay. I mean, it's moving slowly. My target was for it to gap fill. It looks like it's going to do that. And in fact, it'll likely hit this downward trend line, in which case I will take profit and get out. And that would be about an 11% gain in, let's see, how many days? Let's see. So this is 24 April to where we are now, so 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks. So not a huge gain. This is not a tech stock, but the entry was right. So I'm always looking for the right entry, the right setup, whether it's tech. To me, it doesn't matter if it's tech, whether it's gold miner, Bitcoin play, oil energy play, or in this case, consumer discretionary, Nike, right? It was just a good entry objective, so I took the trade. I'll get out, take profit here. Some folks would say, well, take half your position and keep playing with half. I actually don't do that. I don't like to leave a position open. That's just my preference. We can talk about it if you have questions. Put your questions in the comments. I typically close my entire position, wait for a re-entry. So I'm going to take the exit here, anywhere here. Likely price we'll see. We'll wait for price to bust through, right? And then what will happen is it will come back down. And that's where I would take the entry again on the retest of support before it comes back up. Okay. And my target would be this gap fill up here for the next play, and then even a test of the 200-day. But for now, I'm going to remove this because I don't want to confuse all of you. I'm going to take my profit when price hits this red line resistance here this week. That would get me about an 11% gain on this trade. Okay, that's Nike. Just do it. Next up is Microsoft. Microsoft has this huge gap down here. Okay, huge gap down here. And I made an annotation here on the hourly to show that on the hourly there was bearish divergence appearing. Now you can see that this channel here, price is slowly moving less. The rate of increase is less. Switch to the hourly. Whoops, hourly candle. Here, hourly candle. Okay, so it's ping-ponging in this upward channel, but you can see obvious bearish divergence. This is the hourly. It hasn't yet appeared on the daily, but it will. That's just kind of how it happens. This is just the early look. I mean, if you're an active trader, day trader, or trading within a couple of days, then you might want to look at the hourly. I was just curious about the price behavior for Microsoft. I'm not in this trade. The entry isn't there for me. I'm going to wait till it breaks down here, breaks this trend line before I consider taking a short, because that's kind of where the sharks are going. Okay, so trade with the sharks, and you'll be safer, right? Okay, so that is Microsoft. I'm still bearish Microsoft, even though it is up here. Switching to NVDA. Everybody loves NVIDIA. NVIDIA has made quite a reclamation. Right? My first video for NVIDIA, I think it was over here. And it's now recovered when I last spoke to one of my subscribers, AD. So that was about the first time I talked to them about it, told them to take their profits. But now price is back above the 200-day, and it is above where I first spoke with them. So the question is, and they should be asking me, is there much more upside to NVIDIA? To get to the all-time highs, that's about a 13% move. At the moment, what I am seeing is the beginning of divergence. So let's zoom into this, okay? So here we are. We've got, switching to my pencil here. Okay, let's zoom in to show you. There, you see the angle of this? Not the angle. I mean, you see that at this point right here, this is a high, and this is a lower high. But over here in price, you can see that price went upward. So this is the beginning of the sharks telling each other, hey guys, one of the sharks is selling, and that will trigger all the other sharks selling. This is what I call a circling moment. The sharks are circling. Okay, they're going to play chicken because if you're a shark and you have huge positions and you're managing, I don't know, a $2 billion portfolio for your high net worth investors, the first shark that's going to sell is going to get the best price, best profit, and everybody else, subsequent sharks, are going to be making less profit. So the first one is going, they're starting. Okay. Likely what's going to happen is it's going to push price down to at least this zone here. Okay. This zone right here, this 125, 124 zone. I have 2 price points here because it's a heavy zone, a very watch zone. In fact, you even have the 200-day here. I'll just kind of draw it. Whoops. I always have a hard time drawing with using this mouse. Okay, something like that. It's a 200-day. So price will react here. We know it. It's going to react here. It'll bounce around here. It'll ping pong around here. But after that, due to the bearishness that we've seen here, the trigger will happen. There will always be a trigger, a catalyst, and then price will subsequently sell off pretty well. So for those who are looking for a trade, well, I'm looking for the trade, and let's see how this looks here. 8% move. So right now we're in the middle. Okay, you're in the middle of this price zone of 125, this upper zone here of 153. So to me, you're in the middle of 2 price points. So there's no trade. Okay, don't take the trade. I wouldn't advise it either direction, up or down. So if price comes down here, hits the 200-day and gets below it, then I would take the short, likely below these 2, okay, below this point here, and play it down to through this gap, about 13%, and then we'll go from there. For now, not much upside. I wouldn't advise it. In fact, I'll get rid of this. Okay. And my annotation is basically lower prices for NVDA and ping pong around. Okay, I'll just annotate the ping pong. Okay, ping. When I say ping pong, it's price bouncing around, almost going sideways. Some people will say, oh, price is just going sideways. There, go like that. Okay, so that's NVIDIA. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla here, let's see, oh, okay, wow. So Tesla is at a price point resistance of 350-ish. You can see it here. And this week, the past couple of days, bearish divergence has appeared. So we always have to look for that, momentum change. Okay, momentum change, which means the first shark is starting to sell. So really, I would short this. And I missed it on Friday. What was I doing on Friday? I was busy on Friday. So I missed the entry. So this would have been a nice entry short. So let's see how Monday opens, how price opens on Monday. If price opens on Monday, likely what they'll do on Monday is that they'll open it above here. Okay, this is how they'll do it. I'll show you. The market makers will come in and buy it up here. So it'll make it look like, oh, price is using this as support. But in fact, they'll open up here. They'll likely end the day maybe on this line again. And then on Tuesday, gap it below. So the idea is they want to trap people. That's just how the market works, okay? They're going to trap people up here before selling it down. So let me re-annotate this. It'll be like this. So they'll trap people. Eventually, over the course of the next week, 2 weeks, they'll come down and close the gap down here. And I don't think, let's get rid of this. I don't know if it will come back up because there's obvious selling here. Okay, I only had this blue line going up, this blue arrow going up, because there was no divergence here. But divergence has now appeared, So this is the signal. Remember, the sharks tell us what they're doing based on momentum, based on volume and price. So this is the selling signal. That's Tesla. Lower prices for Tesla. I might take an entry here, so I'll watch for a good entry on Monday, Tuesday. Let's go to Palantir. Palantir, what was my annotation? I said it was all-time highs. This was on Wednesday, and it's at resistance. Oh yeah, this was the one I was salivating on. I haven't yet taken the entry. You might say, well, why haven't you? Because I was salivating and so looking forward to the entry. I'm waiting for a little bit of retest up here, okay? The way the markets work is they want us to buy and go long. And they want us to behave in a certain way. Right now, I'm waiting for a retest, okay? So I'll look for the retest of this resistance up here and then take the short. But there is tons of divergence. This is in fact would be an amazing entry. So we'll wait a little bit. We're patient. Don't just jump right in, even though it's very tempting. Very tempting. Yeah, very tempting. I'm looking for conviction. Okay, so maybe Monday, Tuesday, they'll open it up here. This is all-time high right here. This was Wednesday the 14th. I want them to retest the all-time high. So let them, excuse me, not retest. I want them to get a new all-time high, get people excited, and then the sharks will do their big move on the downside. Okay, so my caution for you is not to go long on Palantir. Don't go long on Palantir. The setup, all the indications down here is on the short side. I just want a good entry. That's why I'm not in it yet. I love a good entry. So I'm going to watch it carefully early this week for a good entry. Usually, yeah, we'll see. If you're in it, let me know. Put a comment if you're in it short, because this would be a beautiful entry if you're already in it. I mean, even if you're in it right now, let's say you took the entry on, I don't know, what day is this? This is Thursday, and where you are now, it's only a few percentage, right? Because Palantir moves, it's very volatile, moves big, it moves widely each day, right? The range is wide each day. I think what they'll do is they'll probably push it up a little bit, maybe 4 or 5% before they, actually, let me move it up just, yeah, they'll move it 4.5%, 5% before selling it down. You really want to see the divergence down here. I'll kind of annotate it like that for now. Okay. And that's it, folks. Let's check here. Anything else? Yeah, those are all the tickers. Good luck with your trades this week. I feel the bearish divergence has appeared on a couple of the tickers, and we'll see on Wednesday that more bearish divergence will show up on other tickers. So then the sharks will begin to sell, and then you'll see the retail investors selling, and that's just how the cycle works. Good luck with your trades. Please like and subscribe. Put your comments in. Click the notification bell, all that jazz. Let your friends know. And as always, good luck with your trades. Thanks for watching.